Okay, we'll just give it another maybe minute or two. Okay, why don't we get started? If you have any questions, just let me know. So if you don't want video to be shown of you, that's totally fine.
Oh.
Don't be shy to jump in with audio if something's not clear or if you want me to repeat something. Okay. Okay. So just relaxing into the ground through the feet. And then opening the body up so we're not slumped at all. A very common imagery and saying is we're a suit jacket hanging on a hanger. So we're hanging out, but we're not collapsed and condensed. We're hanging, so there's space in that suit jacket. There's space in our body. That requires strength in the legs. That unlocks the knees. It really means we're standing with the base and not standing with our upper body, which also would compromise our breathing. So you hang out, breathe in the belly, and we get better and better at quote unquote hanging out when we build up the strength and stamina in our base. Breathing in, the belly expands. Breathing out, belly empties. Each out breath is a releasing breath. So consciously releasing tension on each exhale. Letting the arms hang with gravity. Flowing forward with the arms, let the shoulders stay down. Elbows lead on the way down. So one way to get away from using physical tension and physical effort is imagining when you breathe in, of course, the chest and the ribs expand. So just the expansion of the ribs as I breathe in is enough to send the arms out and away from the body. Just the breathing in, expanding of those ribs is enough to buoy the arms out, lift them forward and away. And breathing out, chest, the ribs sink back in, that draws or even sucks the elbows back down. So that's a good physical step to release the arm action. We don't want to be doing it with our deltoids. We don't want to be coming up. So a really good start with that is expanding torso or ribs, breathing in, sets the arms adrift. Breathing out, collapsing or sinking in, ribs, draws the arms back down. So that's a really good thing to kind of meditate on. Taking the physical work out of the arms becomes just a flow of breath and mind. Of course, this is a very relaxing, soothing move. So if we just have a minute or two and we need to calm down or release and relax, this commencement move is very, very good for that. Good, and then serving T, so a little wider, toes out, knees out, but we're still hanging out from the string. The work is in the legs. So we shift the weight to the left, turn the hips to the left front corner, shift the weight to the right, turn the hips to the left front corner. Knees stay bent. Shoulders are always sitting. Belly is released. Equal movement in both arms, equal awareness in both arms. A big part of what we do in Tai Chi, the Tai Chi standing, and also in the Tai Chi movement, is we want that spine hanging. So eventually that allows the spine to open and release. Literally the space between the vertebrae can open again. And what that means is we want the lower back to lengthen and flatten and straighten. And also the back of the neck, same thing. And so even when we're in movement, we want that spine dangling long and vertical. And that releases tension in the lower back. It's the antidote to all lower back problems and keeps the rest of the spine, including the neck, young and supple. Releasing those shoulder joints as well. Okay, now we can keep the same position with our legs, and we're going to Tai Chi squats. Palms rotate up as the hands go forward in front of the shoulders, rotating over, expand out to go over the knees. I'll turn sideways here too, so you can see that I don't want to slide my hips forward. It's like I'm sitting into a chair. Consciously releasing the abdomen. For sure, we'll tend to tighten up and also tighten our breathing as we work harder. So we want to condition and train the mind and body to stay released and soft and open, even as we work physically. So belly released. Coming up, I don't want to hike up, pull myself up. I press the feet into the ground, and that drives me up. I push with my legs into the ground, and that sends me up. And pushing into the ground also pushes the elbows forward, so I don't have to pull up. Of course, we want the knees to go out over the feet. We don't want the knees coming in. Over the feet for good support. And then one other warm-up move, I think this might be new for you. We take a forward stance, it's called a bow stance, as in a bow and arrow. So there's a couple of different ways to kind of get a good proportion with that. If you stand with your feet close together, touching, you open one foot by turning on the heel to the 45 degrees. As you know, we always want 45 degrees. So one foot is turned 45. And then we're going to walk the foot that's straight forward ahead 3 foot lengths. We already have one foot length right where it is. So I'm going to peel off that foot and place my heel right where the toe was. So now that's 2 footprints. I do that one more time. I peel off my foot, I place my heel, the back edge of my heel, at the front edge of where my toe was. And that's an approximation of a good length of a stance. So that would be too long. I don't want to be too short either. So it's 1, 2, 3. that's a good approximation for good length. And then we also want a bit more space sideways, width, so we have better stability laterally. So I then turn on the heel of that front foot and turn that foot 45 degrees. So I turn on the heel so the toes point approximately 45. And then I turn on the toe or the ball to get the foot straight. And that gives me that width. So we can do that again. Maybe come back here again and we'll do the other side. So now, just to make sure that's clear. So the other foot now, we'll turn on the heel to get that 45 degrees. We go 1 footprint, 2, 3 footprints to get the length. Turn that foot on the heel, turning on the heel to get the toe turning to the corner. And then turn on the ball of the foot to make it straight. And that's a pretty good approximation of a good stance. Shifting the weight forward and back. Of course, when you go forward, you want that knee directly over that foot, not inside the foot. Feet stay flat. If my back heel comes off at all, I'll probably be leaning, and that puts stress in the lower back. If my front toes come up at all, I'm probably leaning back. So in other words, we're still hanging totally vertically. That puts more direct work in the legs, which is a good thing. So we shift forward slowly, we shift back. So that's the body motion. Now this arm motion will take a little while to get used to. It might take more than one class to get the sense of it. When the weight is forward, and forward is about 60 or 70%, 70% maximum. If the weight is forward, arms are out, shoulder width and shoulder height. Let's just take a moment to drop the shoulders, sit the shoulders, and also drop the elbows. Another kind of little saying in Tai Chi is we have invisible weights hanging from the elbows. In other words, we want the elbows always pointed towards the ground and they're unlocked. They're not locked straight. So the forward position is here. Now this is the tricky part. As we come back, hands come down and come to your center line. And whatever leg is back, that hand is underneath. So I have one hand over the other, but they're not touching.
Okay.
And
Is your left hand, sorry, is your left hand pointing up, palm up, down?
So both are palm down. I'll come closer so that's more obvious.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to hold my hands a little higher just so they don't leave the frame.
Okay.
So whatever leg is back, that hand is the lower one.
Our leg is back.
Palm down.
Okay.
This is called Toyu. The squats are called Donyus, and these are called Toyus. And so this is the action here. Now maybe, yeah, so this would be the actual place here. So if we talk in terms of endpoints, endpoint or weight is forward is here. Endpoint when the weight is back is here. Now you see my hands are right in front of my center line.
Okay.
I'm making a big deal about that, Alina, because what people will tend to do is this. Let's see here.
Makes sense.
They'll tend to do this.
Okay.
It's actually just coming back to center line. This is actually a good thing to do just with the arms. So this is in front of the center line, straight up. Now, the reason why people tend to do this is because there's a bit of a hip turn. And so when some people are doing a hip turn, the arms are always in front of center line, but what happens when I turn my hips a little bit? See that? My hands haven't gone anywhere. My hands haven't done this. Arms haven't gone to the side. But if I have a bit of a hip turn, it looks like I've moved my arms to the side, but I haven't. It's everything in front of the center line. You don't have to worry about a hip turn, but a hip turn might happen. So I'm hanging from a string. As I shift the weight forward, it drives the elbows and arms forward, but not up. Shoulders always sitting. As I shift the weight back, draws the hands down, just in front of my center line. So this is actually one of our major warm-ups as well, and becomes an important training tool later on after the beginner course, because after the beginner course, we get into a lot more detail and we work a lot more with all the body mechanics and all the body movement details, such as hip turning, and how the hip turn and weight shift drives the arms, and more important about body alignment, body shape, elbows, everything. And so this becomes one of our major training movements.
So it's like you're protecting your gut or something.
Yeah, and in this case, it's not really, it could be a martial move. Actually, it absolutely could be. So that's actually, you're not off with that at all. For example, someone's coming to, you want me to put this in a martial context? Why not?
Sure.
You're there and I come towards you. It's called shooting in to take their hips and their legs.
Okay.
So let's say you're doing that to me, I drop down. So that's a very simple application of that. I'm dropping down. In fact, there's some moves in the set that are very similar to that, which is actually one of the applications of the move. Someone comes in to shoot and you drop down. And then I can be jettisoning them back. Or I can do it from out here. And as I draw back and I bring this down, it'd be very easy for me to raise that knee as I pull them in and back. So there's always martial applications to these for sure. So, but right now, this is more of a body movement, timing, coordination. In the beginning, we approach it as a body alignment exercise. So we're not leaning, we're not using upper body, we're not using the shoulders, all the things that we talked about from the very beginning. This is just another shape and movement to work with getting the proper body alignment, shape, all the things we want. So I don't know if you've changed to the other leg or not, but feel free to change legs whenever you like. The other foot forward. And so a little bit of timing involved. By the time I come fully forward, which is 60 to 70% forward, by that time, my hands have fully reached their full movement forward. Again, without
You don't lock your elbows, excuse me. You don't lock your elbows at any time.
Exactly. So we don't lock the knees and we don't lock the elbows. And again, there's both energetic and martial reasons for that. This is very interesting. One of the reasons why we like to refer to the martial aspects, a very convenient thing is that when you do the moves, or you do the posture, or you do the whole set, and you do it in a martially sound way, it's martially valid, martially sound, martially correct. It turns out when you're doing things in a martially sound way, it's a healthier movement, it's a healthier set. Here's a simple example. If my elbows are locked, that's not martially very good. The elbow is more vulnerable to being snapped, also dislocated. Also, by locking my elbows, it raises my shoulder, locks my shoulder, raises my upper body, raises my center of gravity. It compromises everything. So if you even tap your straight elbow, you can feel how vulnerable that is. Lock your elbow on purpose, make it stiff, just give a bit of pressure, you can feel the vulnerability of that. Now, if you just bend your elbow just a little bit, so it has a bit of a point. If you tap that now with your palm, you hurt your palm, not your elbow. So in terms of Chinese medicine, a locked joint is considered a closed joint. Closed in terms of energy flow. So in terms of traditional Chinese medicine, a locked joint is a closed joint. In terms of martial arts, a locked joint is a vulnerable joint. So we always want the elbows unlocked. Exact same situation applies to the knee. If I shift the weight back, and actually I didn't mention this, and often we don't mention all the details of the very first class, there's lots to pick up already. When I come back, for example, in Toyu, or anytime I shift the weight back in any of the Tai Chi moves, people, if they don't have martial training, especially, they may tend to lock that front knee. But when I shift the weight back, I don't want it to be straight and locked. It's still unlocked. Even though my weight's all the way back, of course, my back knee is bent, standing on that knee. It'd be real easy to lock that front knee, but I don't want it locked for exactly the same two reasons. If it's locked, this can be dislocated. And if it's locked, it's tight and locked and closed, restricting chi flow. So even though I come back, that knee is always pointing forward, it's always unlocked. So all the joints we want open. By the way, since we're talking about it, that's straight, that's locked, but also a fully bent joint is also considered closed. So fully locked is considered a restriction in chi flow. Fully bent is also considered closed. So it's not locked and it's not collapsed.
Okay.
So when we come all the way forward, elbows, back to this nice little imagery, little invisible weights hanging from the elbows. That's just a fanciful trick to help us avoid locking the elbows, the joints. When I'm fully forward, my back leg is straight, but not locked. I never lock the joints. And as we just discussed, coming back, my front leg is not straight and locked. Coming forward, it's almost straight, but not quite locked. Okay, excellent. So let's take it from the beginning up till about where we left off and see if there's any questions in there.
Okay.
Okay. So in standing position, so feet approximately shoulder width, parallel, hang out. By the way, the tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth throughout our movements. That closes the chi circuit, allows the chi to flow along what's called the microcosmic orbit. The two main acupuncture meridians, the two main acupuncture lines, and the chi avenues, the chi rivers, is coming up the back and down the front. It's called the Du Mai and the Ren Mai. That's the main acupuncture circuit. And from that, all the other acupuncture lines, like tributaries, branch off from there. And so that one that comes up the back, comes over the head, down the front, and ends at the top palate. And then it continues from the bottom palate and goes down the front. So there's a gap there from here to here. So the tongue bridges that gap, like closing an electrical circuit. Okay. So the electricity can flow completely through the circuit. And chi, one way of using a Western word for chi is the bioelectricity of the body. Bioelectricity. So we always want the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, just behind the upper front teeth, to make it easier for the chi to flow more completely and freely. So we're hanging out, breath in the belly, eyes softly gazing forward, and the arms flow forward. Elbows, take the arms down. Of course, the knees are always unlocked, shifting the weight left. Turn easily on the right heel, shifting forward a little bit, picking up the back heel, flattening it 45 degrees, keeping the weight forward the whole time. That's commencement. Stand and hold the ball. So that just means the left hand turning palm up, left hand is low. Hold the ball as you step with the left heel into the corner. So we went from commencement now into grasp, left grasp for its tail. Stand into the left leg, touch down with the ball of the right foot. Bottom hand turns palm up, hold the ball. That's right hand low. Step with the heel. Remember the 3 positions. First position, palms facing, not touching. Coming back, left arm comes back with you. Shifting forward. Hands go back where they were. This time they touch. Hands release. Forward with a push. Going into single whip. Shifting the weight all the way back to the left leg. Turning as far as comfortable on the right heel. Shifting the weight all the way back to the right leg. Hands slide down a little bit. Touch down on the ball of the foot for balance. Turn on the right heel to get the toes to the corner. Arms out to the right. Take a step on the heel. Shift the weight forward. Left arm goes forward. Right arm just comes along with the body. Single whip. Raise hands a step up. Shifting back. Turning on the left heel. Toes to the corner. Arms just come along with the body. Slowly shift the stand into the left leg. Touch down very, very lightly on the right heel. Just a small step, very lightly. Then the right hand opens like you're playing the harp. But it's called raise hands and step up. You turn the nose and the toes to the left front corner. Nose and the toes turn. And the right hand drops underneath. So a little pet name for that could be turn and hold the ball. Hold the ball as you step a full step, because we're about half a step or so. Full step with the right heel towards the front wall, but toes are still to the corner. So both sets of toes are to the corner for a parallel step. Make sure your right knee stays over your right foot as you shift your weight into it. Touch down lightly on the ball of the foot. Make sure your right knee is bent as you stand into the right leg and face the sidewall. Let's just pause there, okay? Any questions in there? Again,
No,
not that you need to know it off by heart at all, because we're always going to be coming back to review, always. So not that you know this off by heart, but anything that's a big gap for you.
I guess the single whip. So when you kept the single whip piece, can you just go back and just
So
I got it.
Give you a visual from different angles. Okay.
No, don't do, sorry. The angles screw me up, I think. Even more.
Which way would you like me to face?
The same way I would be facing. So we're facing towards the left, I guess. Yeah.
This way here. Okay. So
Or maybe just.
if I face the way that we're actually doing the set together, that would be from here. Want me to do it from here again?
Sure.
Yes?
Yes, please. Yep.
Okay. So here we go. Correct foot. Step. Still hanging from the string, shoulders down, breath in the belly. Okay. So from the end of that grass bird's tail sequence, shifting back all the way to the left leg, turning on the right heel, and then all the weight into the right leg, shifting into the right leg, hands slide down a little bit, touch down, turn on the right heel, get the right foot to the corner, arms swoop out to the right, full step on the left heel, shifting the weight forward.
Okay. So when you shift the weight forward, you bring your right leg, your left arm forward too.
Yeah, so the left arm
Goes forward with the left leg.
Yeah.
I think that's where I used to.
So if I give you the visual towards you, my left arm and left hand rotate forward.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So there. Okay. So let's take it from there again, go through single whip. Okay, so here we go once more. Shifting back, turning. Shifting back, hand slide down. Touch down, correct right foot. Step with the heel. Okay, now raise hands a step up, which is basically play the fiddle or play the harp. Shifting back, Turn left toes to the corner, shifting the stand into the left leg. Touch down very lightly. Small step on the right heel, then the right hand opens. Turn and hold the ball, keeping your weight in the back leg, left leg. Full step, shift the weight, pushing to the wall. Touch down, facing the side wall. Make sure the right knee is bent as you stand in the right leg. So maybe let's do stork spreads wings a couple times. So from raise hands and step up, standing in the left leg, touching down lightly on the right heel. Return, hold the ball. Hold the ball as you take a full step. Shift the weight. The left palm faces the front wall, and the entire back of the right forearm and back of the hand face the front wall. It's like you're pushing the wall. Touch down. Right knee stays bent as you face the side wall. Let's do that one more time. Standing on the left leg, right heel lightly touching the ground. Right leg is barely touching the ground, but it's still forward ahead of the left leg. Therefore, the right hand is higher. Turn, hold the ball. So the toes have turned a little bit to the corner. Step with the heel, parallel feet as you shift the weight to the right leg. Stand in the right leg, touch down lightly with the ball and left foot. Stork spreads wings as the right hand is high. Okay, now brush knee position. Bottom hand goes forward, top hand goes forward, and the right hand continues down through 6 o'clock, comes up, palm up. Full step, shift the weight forward for the first brush knee. Half step up, shift the weight back, pick up the front foot, the left foot, touch down very lightly on the left heel, then left arm high for play the fiddle. So don't worry about those last two moves, but let's focus on those now, the brush knees and play the fiddle. And we just touched upon those last time. So again, let's go through the footwork to segue between brush knee to brush knee. So again, let me know if you want me to change angles and which angle might work best. So maybe we'll start, again, just doing everything the same direction, you and I facing the same way.
Yeah.
Let's say the left leg is forward in the left bow stance. So that means the weight slightly, about 60% into the left leg. That's actually left brush knee. So left brush knee is the left leg forward. Right brush knee is the right leg forward. It's called brush knee because you could almost brush that knee. But we're not going to do the arms first. So just the footwork. So left leg is forward. To go from brush knee to brush knee, we don't want to just step straight forward into the next forward stance because it's kind of awkward to do that with that foot pointing straight forward. We want a better base. So we want that front leg to get to the corner first. So we're going to turn the left foot. Whenever we say left foot, it means the whole leg. I'm going to turn the left foot to the 45-degree corner. So we just let the weight come back a bit. We rock back a bit, just so it's real easy to turn on the heel, to get the leg to the corner. Shift the weight to stand into that left leg. And right now, we're going to employ balance steps, so we can talk about certain details. So we've got our left foot to the corner. And then when we're ready, we step with the right foot, which is always stepping with the heel. So full step on the right heel, foot pointing straight forward. We shift the weight forward about 60%. Rock back a little bit so we can turn on the right heel to get it to the corner. Shift the weight to slowly stand into the right leg. Touch down with the ball of the left foot whenever you're ready. And now, when you're ready to take a step, you step with the left heel. Shift the weight forward, 60 or 70% forward. Rock back. Open the leg and foot to the corner. Slowly shift the weight to stand into the left leg, touch down for balance, then step with the right heel. Shift the weight forward. Instead of taking a step from here, we rock back a little bit, open, shift the weight into the right leg, touch down for balance, then step with the left heel. Okay, how's that going?
Good. So you always step or balance, even though, right, because we're beginners, you're doing that right now.
Just, yeah, we'll be taking those out. Basically, once we've gotten to the end of the mini set, we've gotten to first cross hands, then we go back and then reapproach the mini set and we refine the footwork. We take the balance steps out, and there's one or two other things about the set that we refine as well. So, and again, don't worry about having that down. That's a long-term process. Now, if we just kind of throw the arms into it, and just the arms, we won't worry about the footwork for now. You can stand any way you like, but one arm is behind, and the arm that's behind is palm up, approximately shoulder width, or sorry, shoulder height, or almost, but definitely not down here. It's not hip height. It's towards shoulder height. And again, the back arm is always palm up. And therefore, the front arm is palm down. Again, about shoulder height. So we're not doing any stepping. We're just going to do the arm work. The back arm comes through. It's like it buzzes past the ear. And the front arm goes down and back. So now the other arm is behind and palm up. Other hand is palm down. The back arm buzzes past the ear. And the front arm goes down, back, and up. So it's like swimming. It's like the front crawl, the front stroke. This is basically what the arms do. It's like doing the front stroke, the front crawl, if you were swimming. Okay. Now, let's bring that into the footwork. So if we stand on the right leg, so then the right foot will be to the corner, touching down lightly on the ball of the left foot. Standing on the right leg, so the right arm is back, and the left arm is forward. So right hand palm up, front hand palm down. Arms stay out there until after we step. So we don't move the arms while we're stepping. After we step, so we step with the left heel. Now when we shift the weight forward, that's when the arms move. Back arm buzzes past the ear, front arm goes down in front of the left hip. When we rock back and open the left toes to the corner, the left arm does the same thing. The left leg and left arm turn or rotate. Then we stand into the left leg and touch down the right foot. The left arm is back now. We take a step on the right heel, shifting the weight forward. Left arm comes past the ear, right hand goes down in front of the hip. So before I mentioned it's kind of like swimming, front crawl. When we're employing the footwork, I like to use the analogy of throwing a softball. I think I mentioned that last time, where the back hand has a softball in it. I take my step. It's like this hand is like pointing or counterbalance, and I shift the weight, and that's the throwing of the ball. The ball's in that back hand. I take that step, I shift the weight, and I throw that ball. That's actually a very useful imagery because one of the mistakes that happen when people are learning brush knee is they move their arms as they step. In fact, I would say most people tend to do that when they first do this move. Now let's go back to a martial context. If I'm delivering a strike, in this case it could be a push or a palm heel strike, I wouldn't want to deliver that strike as I'm stepping. I'm ungrounded. I have no stability. Let's say this is my target, and I'm going to hit that target as I step. I have no stability. I want to have that touching down, and then I shift the weight, throw the ball. Or let's take it out of a martial context and put it simply into throwing the ball. If I'm throwing the ball, can you imagine the inefficiency of throwing the ball as I step. Throw the ball as I step, I don't have integrated power. So to throw the ball with efficiency, I set up, I step, and then I shift my weight. Same reason for delivery, efficient delivery and transference of energy and force. So that usually takes people a while to get. People tend to move their arms and step. So I get to this, that's why I call it a brush knee ready position. I'm there ready, I don't move yet. I'm ready, I take the full step, then I shift the weight and I throw the ball. Because again, shifting the weight helps me throw that ball. So that's the timing. So let's work on that. So standing into the right leg, so the right foot's to the corner, touching down with the ball, the left foot. Right arm is palm up, behind. Left arm's palm down, front. So we don't move the arms, we step. Now as we shift the weight, we can throw the ball. Or move the arms for brush knee. This happens to be left brush knee because we have the left leg forward and we're brushing the left knee. We rock back so we can turn easily on the left heel. So the left leg and left arm both kind of rotate. Step into the left leg, touch down with the right ball of the foot. And so the left arm has moved towards the rear. Arms stay out there as I step with the right heel. Only when I shift the weight forward do the arms move to throw the ball. We do a couple more. I rock back, turn the right foot and right arm, stand up, arm up, and behind. Arms stay out there as I step with the heel, shift the weight forward, throw the ball. I rock back a little bit so I can turn easily on the left heel. Left arm, left leg, both turn. Stand up, arm up, and behind. Step with the right heel, shift the weight forward. Okay. Now, we're going to throw some play the fiddles in there. And that actually then will be a huge portion of the mini set, and actually a very large portion of the entire set. Brush knee and play the fiddle, just those two moves are throughout the entire set. So let's throw some play the fiddles in there as we do brush knees. Okay, so let's start here in the ready position, brush knee ready position, standing on the right leg, touching down lightly on the ball of the left foot. Okay, so we're going to step and do a brush knee. Happens to be the left brush knee because we have the left leg forward. Half a step up and plant that right foot. We always want 45 degrees. Pick up the left foot, peel it off the ground, place it right back where it was. In other words, about half a step. But on the heel now, and then let's play the fiddle. So left hand high because the left leg is forward on the left heel. Now we're going to do some brush knees. So I need to move my right hand down and back to get into brush knee position. So I just move my right hand down and back. I'm in brush knee position. Now I'm half a step on the left heel. I take a full step, so I have a good full step for the brush knee. Happens to be another left brush knee. But now I continue into more brush knees. So I rock back so I can turn easily on the heel. Left leg, left arm, turn, stand up, left arm up, and behind. So when I'm ready, I step with the right heel, throw the ball with the left hand. Let's do another brush knee. So I rock back, turn on the right heel, right leg, right arm, both turn, stand up, arm up, and behind. When I'm ready, I take a full step on the left heel. I shift the weight forward, throw the ball. Now let's do a half step up, shift the weight into that leg as we plant it 45 degrees. Pick up the front foot, the left foot, place it lightly on the left heel. Bring the left hand up for play the fiddle. Let's do one more brush knee. Right hand drops down and back as we need to get into brush knee arm position. Full step on the heel, shift the weight forward for brush knee. Now that actually was the actual structure of the next part of the set, almost right to the very end. That was the actual sequence. It's brush knee, play the fiddle, brush knee, brush knee, brush knee, play the fiddle, brush knee. So one brush knee, one play the fiddle, 1, 2, 3 brush knees, play the fiddle, one more brush knee. Sounds like a lot, but just repeating 2 moves. So let's do that again. So standing on the right leg, brush knee ready position. Step on the left heel for 1 brush knee, left brush knee. Half a step up. Shift the weight into the back leg, touch down lightly on the left heel. And left hand comes up. So we're in play the fiddle position. Now we do 3 brush knees in a row, but first we need to get into the ready position with the arms. We'll take a full step on the left heel. Shift the weight forward, throw the ball. We rock back, turn the leg and the arm to the corner, stand up, and arm up behind you, touching down lightly on the ball of the right foot. When you're ready, you take a full step on the right heel, shifting the weight forward, throw that ball, the left hand buzzes past the ear. Rock back, turn the right leg and right arm, slowly shift the weight into the right leg, touch down, full step on the heel. That, believe it or not, was 3 brush knees in a row. Later on, or another time, I'll show you how to keep track of those 3 brush knees. Half a step up. Shift the weight back into that right leg to pick up the left foot, place it lightly on the heel, or play the fiddle. And 1 more brush knee to finish that whole sequence off. First, we have to get the arms into brush knee ready position. And then we take the full step for that last brush knee. Okay. So the only way is repetition. Repetition and more repetition.
Okay.
So maybe let's do it from the very beginning to that last point there, and that's probably a good place to stop for tonight.
Okay.
Okay, so from the very beginning. Hang out and breathe, feet shoulder width apart, parallel, breath in the belly, soft open gaze, tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, and send the arms floating forward. Elbows take the arms down. Gentle shift left to turn right. Shift forward, correcting the back foot. Standing, hold the ball. Step with the left heel to the corner. This is left, grasp, bird's tail. Stand into the left leg. Right hand is low. Step with the right heel. Grasp, bird's tail, which is a sequence of 3 positions. Now into single whip, shift the weight all the way into the left leg, turning on the right heel as far as comfortable. Shifting the weight all the way into the right leg and sliding down. Left foot touching down for balance. Turning on the right heel to get the right toes to the corner if they're not there already. Hands swoop up to the right. Full step on the left heel. Shifting forward, left hand goes forward. Shifting back, left toes to the corner. Shifting back to stand into the left leg. Arms just stay out there the way they were until I touch down lightly with the right heel. Then the right hand opens for raise hands and step up. It's like playing the harp. Then I turn and hold the ball. The nose and the toes turn to the corner as the right hand drops underneath. Turn and hold the ball. Hold the ball as you step a full step towards the front wall, but the toes stay to the corner, so feet are parallel. Touch down for balance, but the weight stays in the right leg, so you want to make sure it's bent, so it's secure and stable. So we face the side wall. Stork spreads wings. Now we start a sequence of brush knees and play the fiddles. We're there already. So the arms go into brush knee position. So left arm forward, right arm forward. Right arm continues down and back. Palm up, left hand palm forward, palm down. Full step on the left heel for our first brush knee. And then our first play the fiddle. Half step up. Shift the weight back to pick up the front foot and lightly place it down on the heel. And then it's like you're playing the harp. Play the fiddle, left hand high. And then now our sequence of 3 brush knees, but first we need to get the right arm down and then back for brush knee ready position. Now we take a full step on the left heel, shifting the weight forward, throwing the ball. Now we have to segue into another brush knee, rocking back a bit, turning on the left heel. So left leg, left arm, turn, stand into the left leg, touch down with the ball, the right foot, left arm is behind. Step to the right heel. Shift the weight forward and throw the ball. Now we need to rock back so we can step again. So we rock back, open the leg and the arm to the corner. Stand up, touch down, right arm is back. Step with the left heel. Shift the weight forward so you can throw the ball. One more play the fiddle, so half a step up. Shift the weight back into that left leg, back into that right leg. So you can pick up the left foot and place the left heel down lightly, and then left arm high. Play the fiddle. One more thing to do. Right arm down and back for brush knee ready position. Full step on the left knee. Shift the weight forward for the final brush knee. So let me just give you a quick preview to the end of the mini set. So don't worry about this at all. So that's the brush knee we just left behind. The next move is new, and it'll seem kind of fancy right now, but it just takes a little bit of instruction to get the sense of it. This is called chop with fist. It's like a back fist. Chop with fist. Another move, step, parry, and punch. But I want to show you that's really a brush knee. So I did chop with fist. We'll learn that next class. Step, parry, and punch. But really, that's no different than a brush knee. So that's not really too new. This is new. We'll cover that next class. Parry and punch. Next move, but it's really simple. It's called withdraw and push. Withdraw and push. So that's a fairly simple move. And then it's cross hands. That's the end of the mini set. Cross hands. I simply turn and do a squat to cross my hands. And then if I'm finishing there, I come down just like how we started, the reverse of the commencement. And that's the complete mini set. So there's only one really new move there. Okay, so let's do a brief wind down. So hang out, arms flow forward as if drifting up through water, elbows take the arms down through the water. Flowing forward, belly expanding, ribs expanding, breathing out, belly and ribs coming back in, drawing the arms down. Arms are buoyed up by expanding ribs and belly, and they're drawn down by the retracting ribs and belly. Good. Let the hands rest below the navel. It's the core of the body. It's called the dantian. And see if you can feel some movement in the belly as you breathe. Now, a deep, long breath in through the nose. Then a long breath out through the mouth. Let your arms drop with gravity. Swing ever so slightly, completely naturally, as you breathe comfortably in the belly. And just notice and feel your arms swing with gravity and momentum. And your mind's eye, watch the arms slowly come to vertical stillness. Each out breath is a releasing breath. Shift the weight a little bit side to side, knees unlocked. When you're on one leg, the other leg is light or empty. You can let that foot turn to a more normal angle. Shift the weight to the other leg so the other foot can turn to a little more of a normal angle and gently rock out. Good. Excellent work. So that's covering a lot of ground. And we're almost right at the end of the mini set. And that's really the template for the whole entire set.
Okay.
Good work.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good
Have a
night.
good evening.
See
You
you next
too.
time.
See you tomorrow, right?
Pardon me?
Tomorrow?
Sunday, no. Our next class will be Wednesday night.
Thank you.
And I'll send out this recording for home practice and an email about Wednesday night's class as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.